I used to think that grinding out 16-hour days was the way for me to build my future, but in reality, I was just preparing my grave early. I was doving off. I was dozing off at the wheel, sleeping in closets at work, uh, eating whatever I could grab, and which was typically never healthy. And I hardly worked out besides random push-ups that I would end up doing while I was at work. And I was also barely seeing my wife. This was during our first year of dating, and honestly, I'm just glad that she stuck with me through all of this. But one day, after just nearly having anxiety attack at work, I realized I had to figure out a way to make some remote money. And that's where I got into digital marketing and learned everything about it. I quit my job, found a mentor, opened a drop shipping store, and most importantly, I started to get my time back. Now, I'm not about to claim to be one of those people that said they make six figures or made six figures from drop shipping and now I'm rich online. Like, I'm not that person, right? But what it did for me, hearing that notification on my phone, let's just say while I was working out, that I made $30 in the gym, it did something for my mindset as well as my motivation to understand that there are other ways to make money. And I realized, like, okay, I can truly go out and figure out a pathway to a remote living, even if it's not 100%, right? I wanted to be able to get my time back in any way possible. And even there are studies out here that show that most people drive, I think it's like an hour a day, just commuting back and forth from work. And I had two jobs at the time, completely like they were far apart, y'all. I was driving probably about total of an hour to work. So I was probably doing about three and a half hours of driving a day. So I just at least wanted to get that time back, which would allow me to sleep some. Because if you do the math, I'm working 16 hours. That leaves 8 hours for whatever. I'm obviously not sleeping 8 hours because I have to wind down, eat all, like it's not happening. So I at least wanted those 3.5 hours back. And I realized that I needed to go all in on this because it wasn't the effort, right? It was how I was working. It was how I was putting in all these hours that was tearing me down. And more than anything, I realized that I felt as if I was stuck in a loop. And maybe you feel this way as well, where I was physically present, but I was mentally gone most of the time because of how exhausted I was. And if you feel that way now and you're watching this video, then what I want to do is I want to talk about three different ways on how to avoid that burnout trap that I was in, right? So you can learn from my mistakes and make sure that you live the fruitful lifestyle that you deserve. So the very first thing is make sure you set your boundaries between work and life. When you're first starting out, it can be extremely tempting to say yes to everything, but this will quickly add to your responsibilities and weigh you down. Make sure you go ahead and establish some clear boundaries, right? By picking off like daily cutoff times, scheduling breaks, and also give yourself non-negotiable downtimes. Like that's important. Next thing, prioritize your health. All right. And when I say health, I mean in every way that you can. Make sure that you're exercising, you're sleeping, you're eating well. You are human, right? You are a human being. This is not right optional. This is necessary. I will also encourage you to get into some like daily practices like journaling, showing gratitude, or even like practicing mindfulness. I've spoken about how my wife and I practice gratitude every single day. And I want to say the very last video. And number three would be focusing on progress and not perfection. Burnout can lead from us feeling as if we have to make it overnight. But in reality, nothing happens overnight. Not even winning the lottery. Like if you really think about it, the chances of you going to the corner store and winning the lottery on the very first ticket is highly slim, right? You're probably going to go to the corner store every single day. You're losing. You may be buying multiple tickets and eventually you win the lottery, right? It's the same process for building up your professional careers, whatever success that you want. You have to go out every single day and put in the effort. You have to show up every day, work hard, learn the skills, and just be consistent. So really nothing happens overnight. Even being, winning the lottery, having all that money, like you still have to show up every single day at somebody's corner store and buy those tickets. Uh, but anyway, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to pick 1 or 2 skills or habits that are going to help build momentum in your career, right? I say this because when you are in your career, whether you want to work remotely or not, right? Um, you have to start building those habits that are going to help you make that exponential growth year after year. And I don't want y'all to head down the path that I was in, right? Falling asleep at work, falling asleep, dozing off while driving, sleeping in the closets. Like I don't want that for you all. I want y'all to also understand that you can pivot your life in career at any given moment. Like there's no rule book to life. If you decide that you want to do something completely different, the internet like has amazing resources, right? There's a plethora of resources. If you want to pivot your life and rebrand your life, you can do it. I have all faith in you. You just can't be scared to actually take that risk. And you have to go all in, and you must want something better for yourself. Because when we think about success, I've interviewed a lot of professionals that have been in their careers for like 30 years. I've interviewed a lot of 6-7 figure entrepreneurs. And one thing I love to ask them is, what is success? What was success to you when you were in your early 20s? And what is success to you now? And without a doubt, all of them have said that success growing up was, I need the money. Like I need the 6 figures, I need the 7 figures, I need to be rich. But now that they're settled, they say that success is having time. Success is being able to go to the family events, the events to support their friends, all things like that, because that is the richness in life. And that's what makes us feel complete. That was makes us feel connected to others and whatnot. So yes, we do need money to live, right? I was working those 16 hours and barely getting by. I needed it to live. But I realized that I wasn't living. I was just existing, excuse me. So if you feel as if that you're currently just existing and not living your life, I want you to take what I just said into consideration, right? How can you even start to pivot or change your career, change your life? Because what I don't want for you is to be heading down that path where you're mentally gone, but you're physically present. And time is going to go by and you're going to miss these moments with your friends, with your family members. You're even going to miss out, meeting some amazing people, because of how much that you're wearing yourself down and tearing yourself down. So that's all I have for y'all today. Action steps, as always, figure out what are some of the 1 to 2 habits or skills that you can start. I don't want to say perfecting, but improving on now, that will either help you pivot your career or get you to the next level of your career, so you can start working on that balance that you desire. Yep, that's all I got. All right, catch y'all in the next video.